Speaking lifestyle, we're going to get into reviews and getting testimonials, the whole shebang, shadoodle when it comes to that. If you're not getting reviews, then you simply won't be selling as much as you could be selling. So that's why I want to talk about reviews today. Today's a really, really good day. Do you know why? Because my movie's coming out today, the Fantastic Beasts movie. So that's why I'm excited. All right, so let's get going today. Like I said, we're going to talk about reviews, getting reviews, what you need to do with them, the whole thing. If there's one thing that will literally alter the course of your business, it is reviews. Getting social proof, that is hands down the most important sales tactic ever. If there was only one tactic I could use over and over again, it would be reviews. If there was only one thing I could use, it would be reviews, social proof, because that is the very thing that sells all the time. So if you're not getting reviews, you need to be getting them. So we're going to talk about that today. Any questions you guys have, make sure you ask the questions as well. What's up, everybody? Everyone who's hopping on. Like I said, social proof, hands down, the number one way to sell anything. It doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter if you're building a personal brand, if you're speaking, coaching, consulting, a real estate agent, insurance agent, a fitness trainer. It just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, can you get the review? Because if you get the review, it will sell. I can't stress that enough. What's up, Paul? What's up, Celso, Marion, Maggie? What's up, everybody? And so the other day I was actually on Amazon. I was going to buy a sweater. Can you guess what color it was going to be? So I was going to buy a purple sweater. And I was looking at, all the pictures and everything, right? And there was one that I really liked. I'm like, oh, this one looks cool as all hell. I click on it and I realized, one, it's not with Amazon Prime. So I'm like, dang it. All right. I can't get it in 2 days. I don't know about this thing. But the thing that really did it in terms of why I didn't buy it was because there was literally 0 reviews, like literally none. Not even just one, it was literally 0. And because of that, I just said, nope, not going to get it. Not even going to risk, I think it was like $20 or something. Like, not even going to risk $20 just to do this, right? And so I didn't buy the sweater just because there were no reviews on it. And I don't buy anything if there's only 1 or 2 reviews on it as well, because once again, I know people can just post that stuff and just fake it anyways. So you have to understand that if you're not getting reviews, you are losing so many sales. It's ridiculous. All right. So let's see. You said I heard sometimes people pay for reviews as a common practice. Is this ethical? Yeah, I mean, of course people pay for reviews. That's why, like, especially on Amazon, I always go to that website, fakespot.com. I go to that website and then I copy and paste the URL into that thing. And I look to see, like, if it got anything below a B rating, then I tend to question it. I think one of my books actually got like a B rating. I was like, what the like that's when I knew, like, what is this? This thing isn't right, because my books, I mean, like, they're just regular reviews. So that's why I'm thinking, like, why didn't it get an A rating? So I know that websites like that, they're not 100% accurate, but still, you go on those websites. If it gets like an F rating, a D rating, oh, don't buy whatsoever. And so you just want to understand in terms of reviews, if you're not getting reviews, you will lose sales. That's just what it comes down to, whether it's video reviews, written reviews, whatever. If you're selling a product, like if you're building a personal brand and you're selling a product, coaching, consulting, online program, whatever that is, and you don't have reviews of that thing, you're going to lose a lot of sales. And the worst part is you don't even know you're losing sales. People just don't buy. Like that's what happens. They don't send you an email saying, can you give me some more reviews on this thing? They don't do that. Like, nobody does that. People just look, they see there's no reviews or there's 1 review, and they just say, I'll wait. And that's what happens. And so you just have to understand that when it comes to reviews, if you don't have a lot, you are literally losing sales. And so in the beginning of your career, in the beginning of anything you do, whether it's speaking, coaching, consulting, selling an online program, anything, the beginning part of the beginning mindset that you need to be in is, I got to get case studies. I got to get reviews. I got to get these testimonials. I got to get them, because that is a thing that's going to take you from, oh, this person's a scam artist to, oh, this person can actually help me. You got to remember that people are skeptical as all hell, like hands down skeptical as hell, especially if you're trying to put out content and everything. You have to overcome the skepticism of, oh, is this guy a scam artist? Or, oh, maybe they're just some random person in their living room who just decided to be a coach one day, a life coach one day. And so you got to overcome that skepticism, and the reviews will destroy objections, and it will hands down overcome the skepticism without you needing to do anything really. So if you're not getting reviews, you're going to really struggle in terms of getting business. So let's see, you said ethically a reviewer is supposed to reveal if he or she got the product or service from the source. Yeah, I mean, that's just all like, I don't know, legal stuff and all that. When it comes to reviews, the number one thing that you got to think about in terms of, especially when it comes to money claims, is you have to tell people that this isn't the average result. You have to tell people that, because you can get sued, and maybe you won't get sued now or something, because it's kind of like, all right, nobody really knows who you are. So you have one or two reviews saying, I made $1 million in 30 minutes. So you have a couple reviews like that, and nobody really knows who you are right now. But then when you get big time, you still have those reviews on your site, and then poof, before you know it, FTC comes after your ass like, hey, that's not the average result in your program. We're suing you. You're going to prison, buddy. Your roommate's going to be Bernie Madoff. And so this is one of the reasons why I always stress, one, the program is hard as all hell. I'm like, any business you build is going to be hard. And so I tell people from the get-go, if you're not willing to work, you won't get any results. In fact, you're going to lose money because you pay for my program and you didn't get any results. So you're going to lose money because you ain't doing anything. So I tell people that from the get-go. And I also tell people, like, when I put out the reviews, I always tell them, these are not your average results. This is a 1%er. This is a person who didn't do what everyone else did. That is why they got what everyone else doesn't have. And so I always stress that. And I don't even stress it just from the standpoint of like the FTC, the criminal ethical standpoint. I stress it from the standpoint of it just being true. Like, even if the FTC didn't come after people who did things like that, even if everyone considered it to be ethical, that you can just post stuff like that, I would still tell people this is hard as all hell. And this person who made all this money, they're a 1%er. They're not like everybody else. That is why they did this. And so I will tell people that, because I want people coming into my program with the mindset of, I'm going to work hard as all hell, with the mindset of, I'm not going to be like the status quo. I'm going to be the person he brags about. And I want people coming into the program like that, because I know if they don't, they literally will not get results. It is so hard to build a business that if you don't go in with both feet in, if you're not all in from the get-go, you simply will not get any results. It is why people don't get results, because they're not all in. They simply operate from a standpoint of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Is there a money back guarantee? Oh no, if it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. They operate from that standpoint. That is literally why they do not get results. They don't see it though. And so it's one of the things where I would tell people, no matter what, whether FTC says you need to do it or whatever, I would tell people no matter what in terms of reviews like that. You have to understand that the reviews, it kills multiple birds with one stone. So whenever people are going to buy something from you, or hire you as a speaker, whatever, whenever they're going to buy something from you, product or service, they have all these objections inside of their head. They don't want to give you their money without knowing exactly what they're going to get in return and being confident that they're going to get that thing in return. So if they're hiring a speaker, an entertainer, they're thinking, I want this person to freaking kill it on stage. I want people to literally come up to me and say, this speaker, this entertainer was insane this year. I can't believe it. I mean, it was amazing. Like, they want that to happen to them. The meeting planner wants that to happen to them. And so the reviews literally overcome the fear of hiring you, the fear of paying you. And so that's why the reviews, it kills multiple birds with one stone. The biggest one is that people just don't believe you. And this is why I tell people, like, when you're sending out the emails and everything, and you're telling people what your story is and all that, people don't believe you. I mean, it's like, I don't believe you're a funny speaker. Show me. Like, I don't believe it, right? So you got to understand that in the beginning, people just don't believe you. Let's see. Nick said, I did a real estate course some time ago. I failed because I wasn't all in. It's amazing how many people fail and blame a good program instead of themselves. Yeah, exactly. Like, it is literally the reason why I literally emphasize to people, no refunds whatsoever. You're in or you're out. That's hands down what my program's about. I tell them, like, look, you come into the program with a state of mind of, I'm going to freaking kill this thing. I'm going to work harder than everybody else in this dude's program. I'm going to get to a point where this guy is going to want me as a partner because I'm going to be like just killing it, right? And so you go into it with that mindset. Otherwise, you literally will not get results. And for some reason, people don't get this. People are like, I want a money back guarantee. I want this. They don't understand what that does to your state of mind. That is why they don't get what they want. And so that's a whole other topic, but let's get back to the reviews, right? So the reviews, I remember a long time ago when I was just doing entertainment, I wasn't even speaking at the time. Someone hired me for an event and they literally said, they were like, I actually hired you just because of all the reviews that you had. They're like, I saw all the reviews on your website, and they were like, that's what did it for us, was all the reviews. And I got that several times, actually. People said that to me several times. And like I said, the reviews, it just calms people. They have a fear of giving you their money. And so you have to show me that you can produce an end result without actually giving me the end result yet. Like, obviously, you're not going to give someone the program first and then just they give you the money later. That's not how it works. They have to give you the money first, then you give it to them second, either a program or a speech or coaching, whatever, right? And so they're just absolutely terrified of that. Nobody wants to lose their money. Like I said, with Amazon, right? Even with Amazon, I know Amazon has great customer service, the best customer service I've ever seen in my life. I know they have it. But when I went on Amazon and I was about to buy a sweater, a purple sweater, of course. When I was going to buy a sweater, it has 0 reviews, and there was no Prime, no Amazon Prime. It didn't even say like, oh, you can return this, because on some of the clothing, it says like free returns, because if it doesn't fit, you can return it and stuff like that. It didn't say any of that. So I'm thinking like, oh, I ain't buying this thing. I'm not going to risk $20, right? Shoot, I can spend that money on freaking movies or something, right? So you really, really have to understand that people are in this mindset, and the reviews overcome that state of mind. And so the more reviews you have, the more believable it is. If you only have 1 or 2 reviews, people are like, whatever, it's probably his friend, probably his mom or whatever. Maybe he even posted the thing, or if it's a video, they're thinking, oh, it's someone you know or whatever. But if you have 100 reviews, they're thinking, nah, there's no way he's got 100 friends. Nobody has that many friends. So they're thinking along the lines of, the quantity helps you when it comes to the reviews. You got to understand there's different types of reviews as well. So one is, I call them the wow reviews. The wow reviews are, if you Google me or go to YouTube and type in Benji Bruce Remax. All right. So Benji Bruce Remax, and watch the first one with the Remax lady. You'll see her. She's like, oh my goodness, that was amazing. The wow reviews have that reaction to it. It's like a clear emotional reaction. And these are great reviews if you're an entertainer, speaker. Those are great reviews for these types of people. So this is why, like, most of my reviews, you see people, they're like, dude, that was freaking insane. Oh my goodness. And like a guy, Larry, what did he say? He says something like, he's a man. I mean, I brought Tony Robbins to our event. I brought so-and-so. I brought all these big time names. I've seen all these big time names. That was absolutely one of the best speeches I've ever seen. And he said that. I was like, oh, damn. All right. I'm definitely posting that one. So these are the wow reviews. These are the reviews where you clearly see the emotion. You feel the emotion. These are the reviews you definitely want if you're a speaker and entertainer, right? And so those are the reviews that I really went after in the beginning. Then there's the transformational reviews. These are like the before and after type of reviews. These are like the story type of reviews where you say, this person was broke, they were homeless, and now they're a multimillionaire, all because of my program. And those are the transformational reviews. And so you obviously you want both of those. And then there's the status reviews. The status reviews, it doesn't really matter what they say. It's just a matter of who's actually saying it. So like Jim actually joined our Speak Pro Academy, and Jim has a review from Mark Cuban, the billionaire Mark Cuban, the guy on Shark Tank, in case you don't know who he is. And that, I didn't even really read the review at first. I was like, damn, he got a review from Mark Cuban. What? Like, I was looking at his website and reviewing the site. I just thought like, damn, he got a review from Mark Cuban. And so the status reviews, it doesn't matter what a person says. It's just who's saying it. And that naturally makes you look good because you're associated with whoever's saying it. Oprah, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, Mark Zuckerberg, whoever, right? It's the status reviews. Those are the main reviews that you want to go after. The wow reviews where people are like, holy shiznit, that was amazing. The transformational reviews where they tell you the story, or you see the story in a video, or they write the story in an article or whatever. The transformational reviews, and then the status reviews. Neither one is better than the other. It's just a matter of, it's more a matter of which one do you need to use for what you're selling. So neither one is better. It's just which one, like what are you selling and what review is going to be best for this thing. And I do want to point out, actually, this is something I tell a lot of speakers in the Speak Pro Academy, where you want to use the word reviews, not the word testimonials. So when you put this on your website, like on your website, you say home, about, contact, bio, or about bio, same thing. And then you say, like, a lot of people put testimonials as a navigation link. You should say reviews. And the reason is because you got to think in terms of what those two words do to your mind. When you hear the word testimonial, you think the person or the product that they're giving the testimonial for either paid them or they know them or whatever. No one will ever give a bad testimonial. You never hear that. You never hear bad testimonial. Instead, you hear bad review. You hear review, right? So the testimonial is more like, they're like, is that like a friend or something giving it to them? Whereas a review, it's more like you're not connected to the person. You're not connected to the reviewer, right? And so the word reviews, it has it's a better word to use than testimonials when it comes to persuasion. And so that's why I always use the word reviews, and pretty much never testimonials. So just keep that in mind when you're on your website and everything and you're posting stuff on your website. Just use the word reviews, not the word testimonials. Of course, they're the same thing, but still it's a little different inside of people's minds. It's one of the reasons why in the beginning of my career, when I was just doing magic and I called myself a magician for the longest time, every time I would say I'm a magician, people would say, oh, can you do my kid's party? I'm like, dude, I hate kids. Keep that little beast away from me. What? No. Psh. And so I would hate the response because the word magician would get that response. So I changed the word magician to the word illusionist. People are like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm an illusionist. Even though I didn't actually do the big illusions or anything like that, I would just say I'm an illusionist. And because of that, I never got people to say, oh, can you do my kid's party? Because when people think of the word illusionist, they think of David Copperfield and floating ladies and all sawing people in half. They think of that as the word magician is like a kid guy, top hat and all that sort of stuff, pulling a bunny out of a hat. And so the same goes with the word review and testimonials. They're the same thing, but you want to use the word reviews instead of testimonials, the same way I use the word illusionist instead of magician, and then eventually mentalist and all this stuff. But it's a whole other thing. So you gotta remember those types of reviews in terms of the wow testimonial, the transformational one, and then the status testimonial. Okay. Then you have to understand that context matters. Especially if you're trying to get speaking gigs and you're trying to get hired as an entertainer, context matters. And what I really mean by that is more like the environment, to be honest. Like I should have just said environment matters. But a while ago when I was performing, so I was doing restaurant magic, and I was doing restaurant magic inside of a hotel, inside of the Hilton Hotel. And a lot of people would see me, and then one person there, they decided to hire me for an event. And just so happens the event was going to be at that hotel as well. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like, all right, so where exactly in the hotel? Like, which room is it? Because I knew the room names and everything. I'm like, which room is it? So, oh, no, it's not going to be like in one of the rooms. It's going to be in the area where they do the buffet and stuff. And it's like a restaurant setting. So they kind of just rented out the buffet area that you see in a hotel. They rented that out, and they were just going to have a bunch of people just kind of hang out there pretty much. Just like a cocktail setting, but in a restaurant looking venue. And this is like, kid you not, this is literally what I did on the phone when I was talking to him. I was like, so, I mean, can you guys like switch the venue? I literally asked him to switch the venue. I was like, oh, I mean, like, why don't you guys get a different venue? Can you switch the venue? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, it just costs more to like be in the other rooms and stuff. And the reason why I wanted him to switch the venue is because I knew if I'm getting video footage, if I'm getting testimonials, and you see in the background a restaurant setting, it doesn't look as good as if you see in the background a room filled with seats and a stage and everything. It doesn't look as good as the restaurant setting versus a room filled with 500 seats and a stage. So I literally tried to get him to change the venue. I was like, hey man, so yeah, I mean, I was wondering like, why there? Can you like change the venue? Why not like one of the other rooms and stuff? He's like, oh yeah, I mean, it just costs more and everything. And I actually told him, I was like, so if I can get you guys to go to the other room for the same price, would you be willing to switch? He's like, oh yeah, sure. And I was able to do it actually just because I had all the connections at the hotel. I knew everybody at the hotel. So I told them the situation. I was like, hey man, and they actually did switch the rooms because I understood what was going to happen when I recorded it. And so that's why you want to also pay attention to the background, especially if you're getting video testimonials for speaking, entertaining. You want to pay attention to the background. Like, is it indoor, outdoor? What's actually going on behind the person? So you'll see most of my testimonials, you'll see like you'll see the background in terms of the seats and the stage in the back. I almost never have someone up against the wall. Like I rarely try to have people up against the wall. In the beginning I didn't really think about it until finally I thought about it. I was like, wait, I should have a better background. And so even if someone actually suggests, and I've had this happen several times when I would actually be at the gig, I'm like, all right, yeah, so let's record a testimonial. And there's actually a wall over here to my left. There's a wall and then windows behind me, right? And so I'm thinking, which is going to be better, this wall or the windows behind me? So they would suggest, all right, yeah, and they would stand up against the wall, and I would literally just move them. I just no, actually right over here, right. Let's do it up against the windows, and I would do that all the time. So they would try to go to a wall, be like, no, actually, just where you were is perfect. I mean, we can just get the people in the back. So that's what I would do. If you're in a situation where you see there's a lot of people in the background and everything, that is a good thing for your testimonials, for your video testimonials, by the way. So it's a really, really good thing because it just shows that, hey, you were at a place that was happening, right? So it just shows that. So that's why it really does matter. When it comes to the testimonials, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to see themselves in the testimonial. And what I mean by that is simply identification. So if a meeting planner is giving you a testimonial and they're saying, hey, my name is John, I'm a meeting planner, and we actually just brought Benji in for this event. We bring him in for all kinds of clients events because Benji's like the most amazing guy we've ever seen. Dude wears purple. How could you not be amazing wearing purple all the time, right? And so if they say like they're a meeting planner and everything, you can show that to other meeting planners, and meeting planners will identify with that. Right. And so that's why you think in terms of what do they identify with. So when I got the testimony from Ryan Dice, a huge internet marketer, every single time I talk with events that I know, or like companies that I know they would know who he is, I always show them the testimonial of Ryan Dice. I'm like, look, this guy hired me. Right. And so I want them to identify with the person in the testimonial. And this is why like the transformational testimonials are so perfect, because they're telling their before story and the after story. They're telling people how they felt and what happened before they joined your program or whatever, and then after they got all the results. And when people read this, they identify with it. It's pacing and leading them, just like a hypnotist. You say like, here's what you're thinking. Here's how you're feeling. You close your eyes and you're feeling your arms are getting soft. You feel your arms and the belly. It's you feel it in your belly and I'm a horrible hypnotist. But basically you're pacing and leading inside of the testimonials. The identification paces and leads them in your testimonials. And so that's really what you want to do with all the videos, all the testimonials. All right, let's see. All right, cool. And then in order to get it, this is actually a question. I thought it was kind of a weird question, actually, when people say, how do you like actually get the testimonials? I was like, what do you mean? Like, well, I mean, like, what do you do to actually get them? Like, you just ask. What do you mean? Like, how do I, what? That was one of the questions where I was confused as all hell. What are you talking about? How do you get testimonials? What? You just ask. That's it. And that's literally how you get testimonials, right? You literally ask. Now, what if they don't want to give you the testimonial? So there's different situations. So let's say a video testimonial. You're at an event, you're speaking or whatever. Like I said, right after the event, I hold my camera up right there. I'm just holding my phone. As soon as people come up to me, I'm holding the phone up right there. They can say whatever they want to me. I'm holding the phone. I'm recording everything. I don't care if they want to talk sports, whatever. I'm still recording everything at this moment. And so if for some reason, I don't think I've really gotten this. I've gotten this maybe like 2 or 3 times where someone actually said they didn't want to be recorded or something like that. But if for some reason it's just like, all right, cool. Fine, I won't record you. Like that's really all it is. And so if for some reason they don't want to be recorded, then at that moment I do a couple things actually. So if someone tells me they don't want to be recorded, I think in terms of what does this person want to talk about now? So let's say I'm holding a phone up. They come up to me and they say, oh, I don't want to be recorded. I'm camera shy or whatever. At that moment, I say, okay, well, I mean, do you have like an event going on or something? They're like, oh, no. Like at that moment, I'm basically trying to figure out, can they actually hire me for other events or anything? If the answer is no, then I'll say, all right, I'll talk to you later. Let me talk with them. I got to record some stuff. At that moment, I'm just telling them like, hey, man, I mean, if you're not going to let me record, I'm not here to just chit chat. Like, I'm not here to chit chat, right? So I got to record some testimonials from these people before they leave. And so you can just hang out right here. And I'm gonna get testimonies from other people. The first time this happened to me in terms of the testimonials was actually someone approached me. It was a meeting planner, and they said, "Hey, I've got this high profile event. This is going to be like VIPs, executives, and everything. They're talking this thing up big time, right? And so they're like, it's going to be executives, everything." And they're like, how much do you charge? So I go through the process, ask questions and everything, and I quote them the price. So like, that's too much. That was the first time I'm like, oh, this person's BS and talking about VIPs and they're not willing to spend VIP money. What the hell? So that was the first sign. And then I was like, okay, well, what exactly are you asking? Like in terms of, well, what's your budget? So they they gave me the budget, and I said, okay, well, as long as you let me record. So that's what I always do. If I lower my price, I always say, okay, as long as you let me record, right? And so they actually replied, they said, oh, no, because it's VIPs and everything, we can't let you record. You can't get testimonies or anything like that. I said, well, I can't do it then. Thank you. Take care. That's literally what happened, because you got to remember the testimonials. That's the thing that's going to literally blow your business up, like just freaking skyrocket your business. It is the thing that protects you from everything that's going to happen in the future. If someone doesn't allow you to get video reviews, testimonials, there's almost no reason to talk to them, literally, because sure, they can give you money for an event right there and then, but it's like, so what, right? Sure, they give you some money, but if you don't get the testimonials, it's like it never happened. So this is a perfect example in terms of testimonials and reviews. They build up your reputation. So a perfect example is Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett, I can't remember which business he invested in, but there was some business that he invested in. And then like a month later, he found out that the business was like scamming people. It was like a pyramid scheme and stuff. And it was just bad, right? All this bad stuff. Well, maybe it wasn't a pyramid scheme, but it was bad. A lot of stuff was happening. It was bad. They were ripping people off and everything. And the government came after them. The SEC, FTC, everybody came after the business. And Warren Buffett was so invested into this business that he was responsible for it. So if the SEC wanted to, they could have shut down the business, and Warren Buffett would have went from billionaire to 100,000aire. Like he would have been broke as all hell. And so Warren Buffett, though, he has such a great reputation that he just called up the head of the SEC and he said, hey, man, you got to trust me. I didn't know this stuff was happening. I didn't know it was happening before I bought the business. I didn't even know it was happening after I bought the business. You got to understand. So let me deal with it. You guys back off. Let me deal with it, and then we'll be good to go. But don't sue us, nothing like that. Don't sue us. And so the SEC guy, he understood Warren Buffett's reputation, so they backed off. They dropped all charges, everything. They're just like, all right, cool, it's Warren Buffett. And they dropped everything. And it was just because of his reputation. And so the social proof is doing that for you over time, right? And so what you really want to do, so there's two different types of social proof that you can really get. It's like the video reviews, then like the written ones. The written ones are great for selling your product. So if you're building a personal brand, you're selling products, you better get some written reviews as well. Because it's really hard to get video reviews of someone who bought your program who doesn't actually live close to you. Even if they live in the same city, it's still hard to get a video testimonial review from them just because very few people will actually pull out their phone, record the review, edit the video, and then send it to you. Upload it to YouTube, then send it to you. Very few people will do that. And so it's going to be hard to get a ton of video reviews. Whereas the written reviews, people are much more likely to just write something for you. And so this is why I tell people, if you're selling a program, one of the first things you do is you get a Facebook group. Like instantly just get a Facebook group. Because in the Facebook group, people are going to post stuff like, hey, I got XYZ result, or hey, this happened, this happened, this happened. So like recently, Maggie posted how she got the $25,000 gig. Yesterday, Bob posted how this is going to be his first year doing a little over $200,000. So he posted that inside the group. So what do? I take screenshots of this. I'm like, bam, screenshot. Let me brag about these people. Let me tell everybody about them, right? So that's what I do. I haven't even bragged about Maggie and Bob yet, but trust me, it's coming. You're going to see an email about them, right? And so that's why you use the Facebook groups. The Facebook groups, it kills multiple birds with one stone. Like first, you're in there providing a ton of support. So it helps you with the offer in terms of selling the program. Second, whenever people post results that they've gotten, you take the screenshots of those, you post them on the website and everything. You post them everywhere. And so you got to get that Facebook group if you're selling any type of product. Like if you're selling a product like fitness trainer, any type of online stuff that you're doing, coaching, consulting, online training, whatever, just get that Facebook group. Even if there's only one person in the Facebook group, at least you have one person that you can take screenshots of, right? That's better than having nobody. So you want to use that Facebook group. And then in terms of using these testimonials to make you money, there's several things that you can do. The obvious one is you just take that screenshot and you just post it on your website. Like you post it on your website, you just say, all right, here's the product, the sales page, here's the product, here's what's inside the product, here's all the reviews, here's the results that people have gotten from this thing. That's the easy way to really actually get people to buy, is just to post that sort of stuff on your website. And so ultimately you want to feature the best reviews. And the best reviews are, if you guys haven't seen Dave's review, so Dave, let's see. If you guys go to speakproacademy.com and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. Like it's featured there and you just click on it. You'll see it. It's like this really long review, right? And so if you read his type of review, that is the perfect review that you want. And here, let's do this. I'll show you guys where it is if you want to take a look. And like read it, study it. I don't know if Dave studied copywriting or what, but I was like, damn, like this makes me want to buy my own damn program. I'm going to kick myself out of my program and buy the thing just to join again, right? I mean, that's how good the testimonial was. And so let me go back. All right. So let me show you guys this. So if you guys were to go here, all right, I guess here is the beginning of it, and then if you just click, it'll scroll all the way down. If you guys read this, and you'll see what I mean by how well written this review is. And the reason, in terms of how well written it is, the reason is because he's describing how he felt and what he did before he bought the program, what was happening as he was trying to decide to buy the program, and then what happened after he bought the program, right? And then eventually, like he did like damn near $250,000, right? And so it was just so good because it was pacing and leading. So it was just like, all right, in the beginning, I was like praying to God for help. And once again, remember how I said people identify. You got to get people to identify with the reviews. So he's like, I was praying to God for help. Maybe people don't literally pray to God. Maybe some people don't literally pray to God, but damn near everyone is like practically desperate for help. They're like, please, just somebody help me get this result. Somebody help me make money. Somebody help me be a great tennis player, whatever, right? So it's like, somebody please help me do this thing. And so he was describing like, hey, that was the stage I was in. Then he didn't say like, oh, I just bought immediately. I didn't just buy the program. Nobody just does that. Nobody really just buys immediately. Well, very few people do that. So he said, all right, I was praying to God that someone was going to help me. So, and then all of a sudden I heard about this guy, Benji Bruce, and I got his book, a $7 book. And he's like, I like the book. It was really cool. I read it twice, but I still didn't buy the program yet. I still didn't buy because I still wasn't sure, right? And so he's literally describing how people actually think. That's what happens when people are about to buy your program. Initially, they hear about you. Very few people instantly buy because remember, they don't trust you. They're like, who's this random guy wearing purple all the time? What? Promising me all these results? Yeah, right. So they don't trust you in the beginning. And so they're thinking that I don't really trust them. They watch a little bit or read a little bit, whether it's your content or whether it's a book or whatever. They get a little taste of what you can do for them. And then still they don't buy just yet. Still they don't buy. It's like, all right, I got a taste, but still, is it worth $5,000? I don't know. Is it still worth it? Right. And so they're still thinking that inside of their heads. And then all of a sudden he talks about, all right, I made the commitment and all that, and poof, got it, poof, made $1 gazillion, right? And I think in this specific review, he doesn't actually mention how much he actually made, but trust me, there's a reason why I brag about Dave all the time, right? So you got to understand that the reviews always pace and lead, and those are the best reviews in terms of the transformational reviews. In terms of, you want people to pace and lead. So that's the biggest thing. When it came to like video testimonials, I looked at video testimonials in terms of, I'm trying to get hired as an entertainer, as a speaker, and I'm thinking, okay, what's going on inside of their minds? Like, how do I pace and lead them? So testimonials like, oh, he's easy to work with, and testimonials where it talked about the audience, where I said, I would always go up to the meeting planner and I would always say like, all right, so say what you thought, but I'll say like how the audience reacted. And so I'm recording it and they would say, oh man, I loved it. The audience just flipped out. The audience, everybody loved it. People came up to me afterwards. Oh my goodness. Right. And so the testimonials would literally focus on overcoming the objections, right? So that's what I was doing in terms of using that to make more money. And then obviously if you get written testimonials, like the ones with Dave, Maggie, Bob, all these guys making all kinds of money, Betsy, all these people making all kinds of money. What you do with those is you simply take those testimonials and you write about them, to be honest. So if they didn't create their own like case study, like what Dave did, it was like his own case study pretty much. If they post like, hey, I got a $25,000 gig, $25,000 check. What you do is you take that and use it as content at this point. So you say, okay, you send it out. All right, here's how Maggie got her $25,000 gig. And then you kind of just say your content in terms of the process. Like first we worked on her website, then she hustled her ass off doing cold email, and she did a ton of implementation. You're saying all that in terms of content, right? So that gives you content that it can be videos, it can be written emails, all that sort of stuff, but it just gives you content for you to actually talk about. And then once again, that's what sells. I'm telling you, if there's one thing you need to do 24/7, it is to focus on getting reviews. Focus on getting the testimonials, the case studies, all the same thing. Focus on those, because that is the thing that's going to sell you. It's the thing that's going to protect you in the long run when some dumbasses post about you online about, oh, dude's a scam artist. It's going to protect you, because one person to post one stupid thing and you'll have a million other pieces of proof showing the exact opposite, right? You will not become successful without someone talking bad about you. So as long as you have way more good than bad, it will literally trump the bad. Like it will literally overcome it without question. And so that's why in the beginning, or just in general, you're focusing on quantity, not quality. Because quality is going to happen over time. Quality, you'll naturally get quality reviews. And I remember, I think it was Elio inside the group where he was like, dude, you have like some of the best like video testimonials I've seen. How did you get so many good ones, right? And it's only because I've gotten so many bad ones and so many regular ones in terms of why I have so many good ones. And so when like I said, the way I do it at events, I hold up my phone like right here as I'm talking to people. So I'm going through like tons of people with this event, and I'm only going to use like 1 or 2 testimonials at the very end. And that's literally what's happening, right? I'm not using all the testimonies that I get because especially in Finland, when I went to Finland and did a gig, it was the craziest thing ever in terms of testimonies. I'm like, yeah, so say what you thought, what everybody else thought and everything. They're like, it was great. All right, I mean, like, what else? And I mean, what was your favorite thing? I mean, it was a great show. Okay, say what you thought and everything. Say what you thought. It was good. Huh, okay. Say what you thought. Awesome. They were like using one words. Like everybody was using one word answers. And I'm thinking, what the hell, man? And so literally, I've never gotten so many reviews at an event than the Finland event, but I also never not used so many reviews before. So what I had to do in that case, I actually took a video. I made a video collage of everything where it was like one word answers. Everyone was like, awesome, amazing, oh, brilliant, oh my goodness. And it was like one word answers, and the video lasted for like a minute. And so the way I was able to get so many great testimonials is just because I talked with so many people. Eventually someone's going to say something great, and then you use that one, and you just keep mentioning that one. You keep promoting that one. So that's how you get the quality reviews, because I realize that no matter what you say, like you can try to structure your wording just right to get people to cry in a video testimony and everything. You can try to structure your wording just right. But there are certain situations where you literally can't do that, especially after a speaking gig. You can't coach them on how to give you a testimonial. You do not have time, because you're sitting there recording this person for 5 minutes trying to get a 20-second testimonial, and everybody else is walking away from your ass. They're like, this is taking too long. What the hell is he shooting a movie? What the hell is he doing? I just want to go up to him and say, thanks, man. And they just walk away from you, right? So you have to go quick. You have to be really quick. And that's why it's about the quantity over quality, and the quantity will naturally produce the quality. So that's literally how you got to think in terms of the testimonials. Ultimately, when it comes down to testimonials, you just want to post them everywhere. You use them for content, you post them everywhere. And then, like I said, eventually it'll get to a point where you have so many, it's going to be like what I said with my friend earlier. I told him, he looked at the Speak Pro Academy website. He was like, dang, you got a lot of reviews. I was like, dude, that's nothing. I was like, to be honest, the only reason I don't post more is just because it was slowed down the website. I was like, I could post so many reviews of Speak Pro Academy. It's ridiculous. But I was like, I don't, because it would literally slow down the website. It happened before. So that's what you need to do. And then on top of that, which is something that I haven't been doing, which I need to do, is when you get a written review, like you screenshot something, you get a written review, you take a screenshot of an email or whatever. When you upload that to your website, what usually happens is it saves it as a weird name. It's like screenshot 1046AB321013. It's like this huge, long, weird number, right? What you need to do is you need to change the name of the screenshot to the name of your program, and then review. So it's like Speak Pro Academy Review, right? So I would change the name of that image to Speak Pro Academy Review, and then another one, Speak Pro Academy Review again, Speak Pro Academy Review 2, and then I would just keep changing it. But it would always say the name of the product and then the word review right after it. Because remember, people are going to Google you. Like, people are going to look you up. They're going to say, all right, I'm thinking about buying this program, Speak Pro Academy Review, or reviews for Speak Pro Academy, right? People are going to do that. And then you want your stuff to show up. You want to control the story of your program, control everything that's happening in terms of the reviews and what people are saying about what it is you're selling. And so you want your stuff to show up. This is why I said, when one person talks bad about you, it doesn't matter. Even if 10 people talk bad about you, it doesn't matter, because you've got 100 talking good about you. And the more you get, the more bad people can talk bad about you, and the less it's going to matter. It doesn't matter what they say, because you have all the proof showing otherwise. And so that's what you have to do over time. And so that just keep thinking along those lines in terms of reviews. Like I said, if there was one thing that I could use to sell anything, it would be reviews, social proof. That is hands down the number one thing. Not even a demonstration. Literally not a demonstration. I thought about this. I used to think, okay, a demonstration of the product is probably the best way to sell that product, but it's not. It is not the best way to sell that product because some products you just can't demonstrate all that well, especially like online programs or coaching programs. You can't demonstrate that. Even when you put out content, it's still, people are thinking like, who else has he gotten results for and everything? And so you can't demonstrate that. That's why if your product isn't like a QVC product where you can show sham wow stuff and how it wipes everything up, if your product doesn't do that, the thing that is going to sell your program, your anything are reviews. So get reviews. All right. Any other final questions before we are done for today? I'll wait a few seconds. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. So once again, remember Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we are doing the Facebook Lives Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you guys have any questions about getting on stages, marketing yourself, building a personal brand, make sure you ask. You can email me the questions as well if you want, but it's probably best to ask them on here. All right, cool. I guess we are good to go for today. So I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So take care, everybody.